Hi there, welcome back to Not Another Budget. I'm Nicole, and on this channel I'm attempting to cash budget my way out of debt and fix several areas of financial misbehaviour. And if that's something you're interested in following along with, please don't forget to stick around and check out the other content that I've created for you. It means so much that you're here with me today. Now, this is a very, very late Savings Challenge Sunday. I'm literally filming it at 8:30 in the evening, my time. And that is because I have been literally knee deep at points in fabric today. I have decided to take, and I have a lot of fabric because previous careers, all of the fabric off rolls and get it boxed up into hard storage. I have used every large, clear, not clear storage tub that I can find. I've just been trying to chunk through jobs that have just been sitting there, and that was such a massive one. And I just thought, I put a little post up on my community tab being like, yeah, but it is coming out, it's just going to be really late because I just need to get this done. I just thought if I don't get this done tonight, it's going to be sitting here, and I am going to be busy next week. So let's get Savings Challenge Sunday underway. I don't think I've got any £2 in here, so for now we are just doing the £1 self-care challenge and the 100-day penny savings challenge, which is the preps. And we have this and we have this, so we are on for a good start. Let's get all of this out and then separated. So yeah, so it's definitely been, so many little jobs that, you know, they're not necessary for me to get done. Like, I don't need to sit down and sort out all of my makeup and like decide if I still like the lipsticks or whatever that I've bought. I do certainly need to see if anything's gone gunky or horrible. That's completely fine. But I just thought these are all jobs that I'm not going to get to next year, and I've got a window of time to do them, get them sorted, just get them sit and done. I've got a little bit of running around to do next week as well for other people, because I can't really say no. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, £14 in pound coins. So we're going to put them in here. So I have a problem saying no to people sometimes when it comes to family and things. So I have got a bit more running around to do next week, and it's like, I've got less than 2 weeks now till I start, so I'm just going to have to get all of these little jobs done and just bite the bullet and stop avoiding it. I am avoiding doing my filing because it's going to be a massive job as well, so I'm avoiding doing that, but I have got that to do, and I need to just try and like see the woods from the trees a little bit with regards to what I've been listing and selling and what the plan is there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Excellent. So we'll just get you out of the way, and that is how that is looking right now, which is nice and healthy. And on that challenge, the total amount I'm saving, by the way, is £100 overall, but I'm using this as like a feeder. And then we come to the rest of the change. Here we go. We'll just quickly grab these. 1, 2, 3. So we've got £1.50 in 50p's. We'll get those away. Oh, there we go. Get that in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is £1 on 20p's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. £2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, £3. £3.20 and 20p's. That's not right. £1.50 plus £3.20. Also not right. What's going on there? £1.50 plus £3.20 equals £4.70. That's more like it. 1, 2, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95p in miscellaneous silver. I'm just going to pop that in there for now. That's better. And then in coppers, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14 plus 0.4, £5.79 overall. So that is not bad there. So yeah, so it's definitely been I've got lots of like, where I've been pulling stuff out to go into a car boot sale, and obviously you've seen me do and stumble upon that very, very big crafting haul again. Another one. I need to stop finding them. I'm not purposefully attracting or manifesting these things into my life, guys. They're just appearing. I'm not ungrateful for that, but it was not planned this month. I'm now at the point where I've got lots of, you know, fabric-y bits, crafting bits, everything like that. And it's like, well, actually, I could probably get on eBay, where people are specifically looking for things like that, a little bit more money for them. So I'm tempted to do, the way it's kind of structured at the minute is, at the minute my Vinted just got everything I'm finding. What I'm tempted to do is take certain brands out, like White Stuff Soy Sea Salt, Fat Face, Peter Storm, and hiking specific things, take them off there for now. Get all of the Lacoste polos that I'm still trying to work through just listed and sold through first of all. I've got like an odd selection of like basic men's trousers and shirts. And then like random pairs of shoes and stuff, so not really major specific brands. Try and shift through those first. Then look at anything that's crafting specific that I've got there, and try and put that over on eBay for a bit and see how that performs, because I don't want to let things go for cheaper than they necessarily are. And I think if I've got one platform which is just dedicated to things like that, where actually I can store them and they can just sit there and wait for a seller, which is fine. Whereas Vinted, like, I don't want to say I've been offended by some of the offers I've had come in, but people do go there for quite cheap. And when you know what value is worth as well, and you know that someone's just trying, you've got to be sometimes in the right headspace to just deal with a very, very low ball offer. And there's been a few occasions recently where I've just had to laugh out loud and just decline, because what I wanted to say is like, not so great. It's rare that gets to me, but I think, you know, when we know our areas, like particularly crafting and things like that, like, you know, I know what those items are worth. So 66p remaining off this one here, so we are chunking through quite nicely, particularly on the larger numbers. And like, if I were to open the cupboard door, which is this here, so there's the room I'm filming in, it's got kind of like this walk-in wardrobe that's like the entire width of a room, which is behind like a normal door. If I were to open that, everything would just spill out, because it's just not very well organized, because I've just been finding things to list, literally dumping them in there and then not getting anywhere, and then trying to divvy out that between the car boot as well, sale as well, which is a week today, and then everything else. So what I am tempted to do is actually just, even if it means a slowdown in Vinted sales, but it actually means that I can have that form of secondary income that I was kind of saying on Friday that I think I might need coming in for a little bit longer. That's okay, because what I've also found, you know, I found things that I have pre-cut to make, everything kind of attached together, so there's not like random bits of fabric pieces floating around everywhere, like it, you know, it's all boxed or bagged with the pattern or with whatever design it was being made for. That's all there, so that's all ready to go, along with various other costume and fashion accessories and things that I've started to make. I've obviously got whatever Not Another Budget could be further down the line, although that's something that I'm going to keep an eye on this year in terms of ideas, but not do too much with. For anyone saying this year and they're going, Nicole, we're over halfway through, I'm classing my year as like August, September to September, I think, just in line with obviously my working and earning time. And then I've also got all of these crafting, card making, things that I've just kind of accumulated, sewing patterns that are new and intact that I will never use, that could have a new home somewhere, because I won't use them. I haven't used them. Some of them are vintage and have never been used, and I'd bought them with the view of using them to make a thing, never happened, so never cut. Decent sized, you know, 1/2 meters or fabric fat quarter bundles. Anyone who's a crafter will kind of know what this is, but anyone else who isn't, just nod along and pretend like you are. Anything that I kind of turn my hand to in terms of adapting and making. So there's lots of little things in the pot, and if I just grab, because actually that cash stuffing, well, that took a little bit less time than I thought. If I just grab like a little bit of a blank piece of paper for you guys, and a pen that's not a marker that I don't have to hand right now, so we're going to go with a purple marker, and I will cry about it later. I've pretty much got like normal vintage, your just standard like things, which is vintage. I've then got the car boot, which is a one-off, because it's the end of the season really for where I am now. So I've got the car boot, which is a one-off, which is August. That's all the time. Then I've got the crafting, sewing, eBay shop, but I wouldn't necessarily pay for an eBay storefront because I think you get mucked over. But in terms of having just one platform that's not a vintage that takes everything, but having one that's a bit more specialised, i.e. eBay for this, crafting, sewing, eBay shop, I've got enough there to start. The one thing that concerns me about that is obviously on eBay you have to pay your postage outright and then you have to wait for the item to arrive, whereas at Vinted they buy you the label straight away. I don't really want to be having to pay out straight away, so that may be worth doing in like a September, because I can then give myself a bit of a buffer, or say take, I don't know, £30 worth out of here once I get to £30, and then use it as a float to start and go, right, there's my postage float. And then once, obviously, if things sell, I don't know, that's kind of a rough thing. Then I've got pre-cut makes, which can be made and sold. And they can go on like a specialist or on eBay. The only problem with that one is time. Then I've got options, we'll call this. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That is number 4, it's all the same thing. Then we've got not another budget. This is if I ever venture into making to sell things, savings challenge, binders, anything like that, etc, etc. Not another budget, not this year. I think realistically I wouldn't do anything this year, because it's just going to take too much time out, I think. So yeah, so that's literally just been like over the course of the past 5 days, me going through and sorting out all of my miscellaneous extra rubbish. That's what this has sprung up, because I want to maximise what I can get. I think realistically I'm going to want a secondary form of income next year, because I've been used to having money drip feed in, not having it in once a month. I think having the overall amount come in once a month to cover bills would be great, but I have become used to having kind of something regular that I can draw from. The car boot is like a one-off. That's going to be at the end of this coming week. And then the crafting, sewing, eBay shop, the only thing I'd need to be concerned about, given that I'm not starting that straight away, is how and where can I effectively store it. I can effectively, and yes, I can store it. It's just making sure everything's organised so it's kind of ready to go. So that's another little thing on a time. Pre-cut makes to sell is something that it may need to be, I may need that, like that may be a next year thing, in terms of next calendar year, January 2025, taking advantage of school holidays and midterms and things like that. And again, where I say specialist, it's because there are actually specialist sites and forums where I can sell those items. That's completely fine. And then obviously not another budget, which I just, as much as I want to do things with it, I just want to have a bit of fun playing and making and seeing what works and seeing what I do and don't like, and not running before I walk if I do develop this into something further. And just making sure that like anything I do, if it is inspired by another fantastic seller, it doesn't end up becoming a rip-off, because I don't like that as someone who is a creative designer maker myself, and just making sure that it's something useful, etc, etc. So because there is that real pull where it's like, even though I am putting a real focus on saving from September, I would love to be able to make decent headway on my debt as well. And you know, one of the things that I am doing this coming week, in terms of not really being able to say no to other people, not necessarily family, you know, is my guarantor coming in saying, well, look, if you were, you know, I've got X, Y, and Z that I'm sorting out in my life. It's caused me to fall behind here. I'll knock 50 quid off what you owe me if you were to come in and like clean my house for the day. Yeah, okay. So there's little things that I can do here or there, but I can't really do that obviously once I start working, and that is now less than 2 weeks away. So there's a lot that's going on. I really do need to kind of narrow down my schedule, particularly over the next week and a bit, to work out where's the best way to kind of spend my time. And it may be that I just have to completely strip everything off my Vinted and almost relist again, completely refresh the listings. And if it means I let something go for, in terms of this kind of normal destash stuff, for not a lot, that's fine. Because trying to keep track of, have I listed it, where have I put it, I've now got this box here, I don't know if I've listed that, I don't know if I want to list it, but hang on, I've already listed something else that's quite similar. It was just like trying to find too much and then just go, and actually it's not all appropriate for that one platform. There are some things that are not appropriate for that platform, therefore they're going to a car boot, and I'll literally be like, yep, 20p for a paperback book, I don't care, just take it off me. You know, 10p for a purse from New Look. We're talking like super silly cheap money. What I will probably have to do is actually use these as a float, just so that I've got change to accommodate that, and I might need to, depending on payout times, use the emergency fund as a float if I can't get the cash withdrawn in time, but that will then get paid back in. But I'm just conscious of the fact that I've got a week and I've not yet thought about that, and I want to get things priced and sorted. So the fabric, sorting out the fabric was definitely a bigger job than I thought, but that combined with then having to sort out all of the crafting and making things that I've not only accumulated recently but also had already, has just made my brain go, oh my gosh, there's so much to do still. So yes, I will need to have a look, I think, and see at my planner for this coming week. But I think I am going to have to, if I can carry on chunking through the lots of little jobs that I need to do, I can then come middle of the week give a little bit more time to Vinted. But I am going to go along tomorrow to my guarantor's house and basically knock 50 quid off my debt by doing a bit of cleaning for them, because it's, you know, it gets it down. You know, 50 quid here, 50 quid there, it does get it down. It's not a long-standing arrangement, and they've got enough going on in their own life where actually it helps them out as well. So so there's little things like that I can try and do, and then obviously sorting out this. But no, I'm pleased that like we can get these properly going, really properly going. In terms of Savings Challenge Sunday next week, it may be something that again comes out a little bit later, because I'll be at the car boot sale for most of the morning, and as a seller you can't leave really until it's done. So that might be another one, and that might look slightly differently as well, because I may choose to take things like this as a float, or I go, right, okay, because I think there's what, £21 now in pound coins. I might choose to take like £20 worth of pound coins and swap it in for a note. So and the same again for this. So there's all things like that that's going on. Yeah, it's going to be a very action-packed 2 weeks. I've now got to decide whether I actually go and sort out my kitchen cupboards or not. I'm kind of leaning towards yes, because I've been resisting putting stuff away because I need to. But anyway, there we are. That is kind of just an example of where things are. Lots of kind of options, and the more I'm kind of looking at this, the more I'm leaning towards just completely stripping everything off my Vinted as of Tuesday this week, and then pretty much resetting it, I think. Yeah. All right, I am definitely going to go now. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for bearing with, because this is a late one. If it's too late for you to watch tonight, I will metaphorically see you tomorrow morning. But yeah, thanks so much for waiting, guys. And if I am behind, I am still doing the £100 grocery challenge. I will spend some time tomorrow just basically doing like day 9 late posting, day 10 late posting, day 11 late posting. I food shopped here and spent X. Like, I will do all of that, and I will also get my midweek video is going to be my Aldi shop. I actually managed to film kind of while going around Aldi. There were some interesting angles while I tried to avoid staff paying attention to what I was doing, because they don't like people filming in my local Aldi. They get a bit funny about it. So some interesting angles, but I will obviously get that one out. And then at the end of the week, there will be my August part 1 budget roundup, because this current week's budget is running until tomorrow, so it's another 8-day longer budget, which is why that will come out at the end of the month. I have already made changes and done different things as expected, so we will see what the jazz is all about there. I am definitely going to go now. 21 minutes is far too long for me to ramble, so I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the middle of the week, and have a fantastic week wherever you are in the world. Bye bye for now.